Hi everybody, how are you all and good evening. So it's been a long time since I've come onto this page and done anything with it. Excuse my lovely gorgeous stickers here in the background. This once upon a time was my children's nursery, and now I have it for my yoga room and for my reading room and whatever else I so want it for. So I'm on here because this is my yoga page, and I just want to tell you a small little bit about myself. So I have always been heavily involved in sports from a very young age. That was my father's influence and my mother's too, but my father was heavily involved in the athletic club in Westport. Hopefully I'm looking at you as the right way, because I always get confused as to where to look with this. It's just, I look here straight ahead, and when my phone is horizontal, and when I look at myself I'm looking over here, so I want to have eye contact with you guys. So I'm new to all this kind of stuff, so please bear with me. Yes, so then we were involved. We had Irish dancing 3 times a week. We had tennis all summer long from the start of May or June, possibly June, till the end of August. That was 9 to 6 every day. And then we would have athletics 3 times a week. I would do badminton as well sometimes. I would do the odd bit of golf. What else do we do? Swimming, Irish dancing, badminton, golf, not football, but athletics probably was the main one, and swimming. So we were always kind of like in a lot of competitions in those particular sports. And so we're always on the go all the time. And then as I got older in that, people of my age kind of decided that they were not going to get involved in these sports anymore, and so they dwindled out. I suppose boyfriends and girlfriends came into the picture in that, and so we just kind of stopped doing those sports. So then it went from that then to having those teen years, and then coming back into doing sports a little bit more as I get older, just thinking that I want to be fit, I want to do better stuff for my body, to be more healthier, to be stronger. But I ended up, I suppose, going down the wrong path of eating rubbish that doesn't serve my body. I put that down to having a fruit and vegetable shop, growing up with that, and therefore been forced into having fruit and veg all the time. Whereas I wish I grew up in a Chippers, because if I grew up in a Chippers, then maybe I would have always liked fruit and veg, who knows. So I am trying to incorporate a better balanced diet into my everyday life. I find that extremely difficult. I am going to try and start delicious Ella's food. I just need to just do it and stop procrastinating on it. Check her out. You can get the app on the iPhone, but she's working on doing it on the Android phone. I think it's all vegan. Of course you can add in meat in that. That's a goal that I'm going to try and set to, because having gluten and having lots of sugar doesn't agree with my body. As time went on, in my athletics career, I found that I was getting very sore coccyx, or some people call it a tailbone, and then I had car crashes and other different things. All of this ended up me having chronic stiffness, chronic pain every day in my back, and then I've had like years of going to different doctors and that, and specialists, and it ended up then that they were saying that I've got like fibromyalgia. Now I'm not quite sure do I have that or not, although my chiropractor Brian Drum, he's amazing. He had said to me that he thinks what I have is 2 serious spinal kind of issues, injuries, he says, and that once we work on those I'll be able to alleviate then the pain. So we'll see about that. It's been an ongoing issue for me, an ongoing battle for me, having pain all the time. So I have huge empathy with people who do suffer with body pain and that. I've been very fortunate in my DNA that, in my genetics, that I don't carry weight. I can easily put on weight because I love sugar and that, and it doesn't help with my cellulite, because I've got cellulite on my ass, and although people say you're skinny, you can have cellulite on your ass. I have more dimples on my butt than, I don't know what, an orange peel maybe. And I was speaking to a girl who was a gym instructor, and she said that she's a size 8 and very toned, and that she couldn't get rid of cellulite on her bum. So it's possibly a genetic thing. Maybe it's, I don't know. Anyway, I have it, and that's it. The only time I have to worry about that is in a swimming togs or in a bikini on holidays. So moving forward from that, I struggled with back pain, and then I went on 3 days a week at work when I was hairdressing. Seems like another lifetime ago now. I then gave up my salon and I suppose my career then to be a mum and be there for my children, and to have, I suppose, the important building blocks those couple of years just prior to them going to school and maybe into preschool years. Then in regards to exercise, I was kind of lacking in energy, and I'm not really good at my diet, guys, I have to say. I suppose I did worry about putting on weight and food, and I ended up like hitting the carbs, hitting sugar, and like I never had a love for food. I just didn't have a love for food. I don't know why. And it's funny, my good friends now that I have, like, they're such foodies. They're all about food all the time, and really good nutritious food. And I know that food really helps the body. And I would often get that 3 o'clock lull from not having, I suppose, good rubbish or food for energy in my system. So I changed my diet last year. It was extremely strict. I got a special blood test done that I had to come off, like, there's no point rhyming them off. Basically, there wasn't much stuff I could have that was unhealthy anyways, but there were like lentils I had to like learn to love, and all my different seeds and loads of other things. The diet was very strict. I ended up losing an awful lot of weight in it, partially down to my own laziness of not wanting to kind of learn to cook with these new foods and to I suppose develop a lovely new flavour for healthy food. Yes, and so basically the diet then, hi Kelly, hi Dina, having a very strict diet can be very difficult. When I say diet, it wasn't because I wanted to be skinny, it was because I was having serious stomach issues and colon issues, and so I was trying to get all them sorted out, and my back was flaring up big time. So the specialist said to me that I had fibromyalgia, and he said it might be worth you doing yoga and it would really help with flexibility. But because I'm an overachiever and quite the perfectionist, he had said to me I had to be mindful that I don't try and compare myself to other people in the class, because competition was so driven in our family, and it's a big thing of mine, and I suppose a huge thing of not feeling good enough. I really realise that everybody suffers with this not being good enough, and I completely take my hat off to anybody who has got past the whole thing of realising that who cares if you're not good enough, that you're just doing your best. So if you guys know how to get me over that, that would be fantastic. Just let me know in your secret and I'll try and work on it. I'm waffling a bit here because I get nervous on these things, and I'm not brilliant at them, but I'm trying to do my best, so please bear with me. There is a point. So he said to do the yoga, and it was only, I would say, maybe a week after that a friend of mine had said to me, Thelma, I'm thinking about doing a yoga teacher training course. Would you like to do it with me? And I thought, oh my God, that would absolutely been fantastic, simply because I find myself hard to be accountable for things, like to have it set up that I'm going to do 6 weeks of Pilates, or I'm going to do 6 weeks of yoga, and then I'm going to do that every 6 weeks. I do the 6 weeks and then I think, oh my God, the kids want me, or I'll sabotage it in some way, shape or form, and I don't continue on. And I am just so impressed by this friend of mine who books it just in, and she does it for like maybe, I think it's 2 years now she's doing Pilates, and so it's every 6 weeks that she does that. So I decided that if I'm going to spend a lot of money, and so I have to feel, if you're into like NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, and did a bit of that, I have to feel pain in some way, shape or form, not physically, but it could be pain of giving away money to motivate myself. So I thought, if I spend, I think it's $2,000 or something, and do a yoga teacher training course over a space of a year. I did it with Golden Glow Alliance Yoga school in Galway, and that's with Shirada, and she's a really lovely woman, and they're all about like flexibility and freedom to choose in life and in yoga. And I didn't really understand an awful lot about yoga. I did a little bit of pregnancy yoga with Shirada. She's here in Westport and she's been teaching for many years, a lovely woman. I did a bit with her. I did a bit with a girl called Katrina. I did a bit with David, and I think his wife is Katrina too, two different Katrinas. I only did them for a day or two, no, a class or two, and then I kind of fell pregnant. And then so I had to give it up because you can't do it till you're 4 months pregnant, or past 4 months pregnant, I suppose. And so anyways, I went on to do this yoga teacher training course because I was thinking, if I become a teacher, then therefore I'm going away once a month for, I think it was 10 to 11 months, and it's for a weekend, and I'm just going to learn all about it, and I'm going to find out what the ethos is, how good it is for your body, and in the meantime I'm getting my exercise in, and I'm learning about my flexibility, I'm making my body stronger. And guys, I was absolutely blown away about how yoga is so amazing for your body. Like, it is just phenomenal. Like, what is daunting is, I'll give you an example. Say you're going into a hairdresser and you want to get your hair done, or you're going into beauticians, you want to get like waxing done or whatever, and you're going into these places and their girls are looking absolutely amazing. They're done like from top to bottom, $1 million. It can be intimidating when you're going into a place like that, especially if you don't look like that going in the door. You may leave like that, but going in like that can be intimidating, and sometimes we feel like we can get looked down upon. It's also the same when you go to a gym and all these people, we weigh ourselves up, I suppose, against other women, that, oh my God, they're so flexible, they're so bendy, they're so gorgeous, their figures are amazing, they're so toned, there's this, that and the other. And it is intimidating, you know, when you see, like, when I see even like all these yoga teachers on Instagram, and I'm intimidated by all the yoga, how great the yoga teachers are in Westport, because that's where I'm from, Westport, County Mayo. And then I suppose you bring that then of going, oh my God, would I be good enough to fit in with these amazing teachers, and who would go to my classes, and da 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 da, all that stuff that goes on in your mind. It's just self-sabotage. So I was going to go straight out into the world, start teaching yoga once I had finished my yoga teacher training, and my teacher was really happy with me. I passed, and I'm really happy about that. And it was quite disciplined. There was so much reading to do, there was thesis to do, there was a physical exam to do in that, and I know like different yoga schools teach differently. Some do it for 4 years, this one was for I think 11 months in total, but it's only the first 200 hours that I have done, so I'm on the first step on the ladder to becoming, well, the best yoga teacher I can. I know that's my goal inside my mind. Yeah, so it ended up that my back seized up with possibly doing yoga. I've come to realise that your muscles hold a memory, okay? And both good and bad. So if you're bending yourself into positions that you haven't done in a while, I'm not saying that you have to be really flexible, but in any kind of position, if you're even arching your body like over like this, and you haven't done that in quite a while, because we don't tend to have a reason for kind of going over to the side, then therefore what's happening is that it's kind of like popping, like, you know, like the plastic wrapping that you would have, say, on a washing machine or something. It's kind of like popping that. So all these emotions kind of come up through your muscles, so good and bad. And so you would get these things sometimes called yogi tears. And they can be happy tears, or they can be just emotional stuff. You don't really know why you're being emotional, but it could be because you've got into a position that has released stuff from your childhood or from last week, or whatever the case may be. So it was just amazing for me to learn this and see this. And you know what? I didn't realise that I hold a lot of my stress just above my bra strap there, in between my shoulder blades. And so in the likes of doing one of your basic moves called down dog, you kind of have to have like a parallel back as you're bent like this. You know, like the way dogs would stretch with their bums in the air and their hands kind of, or their paws kind of straight down like that. Well, being an overachiever, I pushed myself too far, and I was doing like heart openers and stuff like that, you know, because I realised then in doing heart openers, when I got locked, I maybe have closed my heart off for a while for different reasons. So I ended up locking up my body, and it was a really good learning curve for me, because I realised that this is what I've done for myself. I wouldn't expect it for my students, but I pushed myself and pushed myself. and it was just learned behaviour, and my back completely seized up. So I have been working on that, and I've been really trying to do this new thing this year, which is very difficult, which is giving myself self-love and loving myself and giving myself what I need, so that when my body needs rest, then I have to rest. If I really need that massage, not to feel guilty about spending 50 quid maybe once a month and getting a massage, if I really needed it, then just do it, rather than maybe eating junk and use my money for things that really were going to serve my body really well. And so it's been quite a while since I've actually really practiced yoga, and I've lost my confidence in it now, and therefore I'm like, oh my goodness, hi Mels, tell me, when are you going to go out and do this yoga? And I'm partially scared in saying this to you guys, because it's putting it out there for me to start, and it's just intimidating starting something new when you're worried about judgment, especially in social media nowadays and everything else. And like, I would go into any hair salon and do hair, and I suppose when I first started out with that, I was quite nervous as well. But you know what, when I was sick last year, I said to myself, I had myself told I had cancer in my stomach. You know, I'm not saying that as a hypochondriac, I'm not saying that for any pity or anything like that. I was having severe pains, and I had a lump in my stomach, and we didn't know what was going on, and I was really, really worried. And I said to myself, you know something, if I don't have cancer, and if my stomach is okay, then I'm going to become a yes person, and I'm going to start doing things, and I'm going to feel the fear, and I'm going to do it anyways, and who cares what people think really at the end of the day? Just go out and enjoy yourself. And then if you help people in the meantime, then that's amazing. And I just thought to myself, God, imagine if we were surrounded by a community of people who lifted each other up and didn't care if we messed up every now and again, or didn't get the right exact moves, or didn't know the exact name. And at the end of the day, we were just so happy to see other people trying something new and trying something different and trying to make a difference in the world and just trying to be the best person they can be. So I was thinking, what if I just go out and do it? And who cares? And if it fails, it fails. And even if I have one person in the class or just myself in the class, then I do. And so I was telling myself this, but you know what? As time went on and I found out that I didn't have the cancer, and time went on, you kind of just go back into your normal day life and your normal day living, and just familiarity comes in again, and you just think, oh yeah, sure, look, I was saying that in the moment, and I wish I had the courage to do that then, but you're now in grand, and sure, look at it's grand, and oh God, all the fears and the doubts come in again, and you just stop. So I suppose I'm possibly coming out here to give myself some external pressure to start doing this yoga. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing, I think, a few online videos, maybe 15 minutes every now and then. I don't know exact days or exact times just yet. I might just pop on when I can, and you guys, if you want to just pop on, I'm not sure if I'll do them live or not either, but when my videos come on, if you guys want to join in and do some of the moves, then feel free to do that. I feel like I shouldn't have to apologise, but I want to apologise because I am not flexible anymore. I have got chronic fatigue, I've got chronic stiffness. I'm not saying this because poor me, I've got this, that and the other. I'm just actually here to tell you the honest truth, okay? I find it so difficult to get out of bed in the mornings. I find it difficult to go and blow dry my hair and stick on makeup. And so I come on today because I was doing a live with my friend Ciara Heenan. We do live videos on Thelma Gibbons That's Life and Ciara Heenan Coaching. Had to give a plug there. And we do a lot of truth conversations about things. And I felt ashamed in myself, and I felt worried and just not good enough that I cannot be the best teacher for you guys because I'm, God, emotional, not strong enough, not flexible enough, not good enough, and I mightn't have all of the moves that you guys have learned because we have such amazing teachers out there. But then I'm telling myself, you know what, tell me, you've got to start somewhere, and that maybe people might come on and have a look and see what it is that I'm doing, and maybe people might have some similar things like that I have, and that, you know, they're not as flexible, they're just like me, they don't have the flexibility, they don't have all of these things. And some people come on, and some people are afraid to do yoga because they think they're too fat, or whatever. I promise you, it doesn't matter what size you are. And if I can find this lady on Instagram, she is happy about the size that she is, and she's flexible. So she's heavier and she's flexible. You might have people who are heavier and who aren't flexible. So I might do a video sometime in the morning when I'm getting out of bed and show you that although I'm skinny does not necessarily mean that I am agile, I am flexible, or any of those things. So I'm going to try and take the plunge with a little bit of pressure from friends and what I really want to do myself. And maybe start doing some videos from home. And if I get enough courage and good enough feedback without having trolls or people like backlashing, because I'm a bit worried about that, then I might have the courage then to go out and actually actively go out and do some classes for you guys. So that's basically it. Also, I want to tell you something. Don't get intimidated. I know it's hard. Don't get intimidated about a lot of these yoga people, or yogis as they call them, or Pilates teachers wearing like tight lycra stuff, tight lycra bras and all that. One of the reasons why they do it, guys, is because it's to really show you the moves properly and how their bodies can go into different positions and different shapes and that, you know. If we're wearing like baggier tops and baggier trousers, you're not really going to see, you're just not going to visually see it as good as what you would do if we were wearing like tighter clothes. I understand that not everybody has the body shape for tighter clothes, and that's fine. It does not mean that you guys have to wear tighter clothes either. You guys wear your pajamas for all I care. Wear whatever it is that you want to wear as long as you feel comfortable yourself. Come in, Kira. And my friend Kira's come here to do some lives for me later on. Have a seat. Yes, guys, wear whatever it is that you want to wear. Just get comfortable. I might have to wear some of the tighter clothes for you to see that. And sometimes it might be my pajamas. I may have hairy legs. I may not have no makeup on. I may not have my teeth brushed or whatever it is, but I will do my best to show up and be there for you guys. All I want you to do is just feel what it feels like in your body with gentle movements. That's all we're doing. I'm just going to start on doing basic movements. We'll eventually do the breath work, which is so important. And together maybe we can move on and I can show you more advanced poses. I can also show people some poses if they have like certain pains or aches in their body and they can't do that move that I'm doing at that time. I'll show them a different way to do it. I haven't done videos in regards to yoga, so I don't know how to set myself up with all of this. But if you have patience with me in learning how I can do all of this, and I don't know how to edit, I don't know how to do any of those things, so my videos might be long, they might be a bit boring, but please God you get some bit of golden nuggets in there. So yeah, I hope this wasn't too long for you guys. Thank you so much for the ones who've tuned in, and thank you very much for those who will take the time at a later date to watch them and watch this space. Please God, I will come on here and start doing what it is that I wanted to do. Okay, take care and good night to you all.